In this story, we're going to witness the journey of a young woman who is transformed into a mutant. She becomes so powerful that 1,000 soldiers couldn't stand against her for even a single second. She even possesses the ability to stop time. The story kicks off in the year 2077. We are introduced to a massive corporation called Medusa. Within the walls of this company, people are being subjected to experiments, being mutated into beings with extraordinary powers, making them virtually unkillable. Eventually, the government catches wind of Medusa's clandestine operations and dispatches a female agent to investigate. However, the Medusa operatives manage to capture this agent, and they begin to perform the same experiments on her. This agent's name is Ching. They successfully mutate her body. Their next step is to erase her memory so that when she awakens, she will serve them faithfully, completely oblivious to her past. But before the Medusa Corporation can erase Ching's memories, her fellow agents arrive on the scene. They immediately engage the company's personnel, taking them down. The agent's leader manages to free Ching just before her memories are wiped clean. Simultaneously, he connects a device to their computers, copying all their data and saving it onto a chip. Their mission accomplished, they prepare to escape. However, just as they are about to leave, they are ambushed by a monster, a creation of the Medusa Corporation itself. All the agents try to defend themselves, opening fire on the creature. But their bullets have no effect. The monster is incredibly powerful, effortlessly incapacitating the agents one by one. The monster then lunges towards the agent's leader, intending to kill him. Just then, Ching steps in front of the monster. Ching is beginning to sense that she has acquired some new powers. She leaps onto the monster's head and repeatedly strikes it with a knife. Still, the monster seems largely unaffected. The monster retaliates, attacking Ching with its tentacles. However, Ching is much faster now. With a swift movement, she uses a sword to sever all of its tentacles. The remaining agents seize the opportunity to flee. They manage to lock the door behind them, trapping the monster inside. They believe they've escaped, but then a girl appears before them. This white-haired girl is named Catherine, and she is also a mutant. Catherine possesses unique powers. She can hypnotize everyone around her. She begins to flirt with the agent's leader, attempting to bring him under her control. But her hypnotizing powers have no effect on Ching, because Ching herself has become a mutant. Ching quickly rushes forward and snaps her fellow agents out of Catherine's hypnotic trance. The team leader then charges at Catherine, but Catherine is incredibly powerful. She suddenly disappears and reappears right in front of him, effortlessly picking him up and throwing him a considerable distance. The team leader realizes that Catherine is a mutant and that they are no match for her. He quickly hands the company's data chip to Ching and urges her to escape. The agents then attack Catherine to create a diversion for Ching to get away, but Catherine effortlessly defeats them. Witnessing this, Ching becomes enraged and attacks Catherine. However, Catherine possesses powers that allow her to levitate objects. She smiles mockingly as she battles Ching. With a single grab, she flings Ching a great distance. They are completely outmatched against her. Catherine grabs Ching by her hair and brutally beats her. For Catherine, beating Ching is as easy as swatting a fly. Ching's condition rapidly deteriorates. It appears she's on the verge of death. But then, something within her DNA begins to change. Her body undergoes a transformation. What exactly happens next isn't shown to us. The scene shifts, and we are now shown the main head of the Medusa Corporation. Specifically, we see Manager Lee. He has kidnapped Ching's leader and is interrogating him about Ching. But the agent refuses to divulge any information about Ching. Lee then demands to know about the company's chip, but the agent remains silent. Enraged by his defiance, Lee brutally beats him and ultimately kills him. The scene shifts again, and we see Ching waking up. Her eyes open, and she finds herself lying in an unfamiliar house. A young man is sitting in the room opposite her. As Ching regains consciousness, the young man approaches her. He begins to tell Ching about himself, but Ching suddenly erupts in anger. She throws a punch, sending the young man flying across the room. This reveals that Qing's powers have significantly increased. Qing then flees the house, with the young man following close behind her. Qing looks at the city in a very strange way, indicating that she has lost her memory. The Medusa Corporation had succeeded in erasing her past. Just then, the young man catches up to Qing and tries to reason with her. But Qing grabs him by the throat. Suddenly, a worker falls from a ladder nearby. Before he hits the ground, Qing, using her power, freezes the immediate area. She stops time. Even she doesn't understand how this happened. But now, she quickly saves the falling worker. This confirms that Qing has acquired the power to stop time for a few seconds. However, because she used her powers, the Medusa Corporation immediately gets a lock on her location. The company swiftly dispatches a large number of their operatives to her. They all attack Qing. Qing begins to fight them, and she realizes that she is far more powerful than before. She effortlessly takes down all of them. Qing also discovers another one of her powers, teleportation. She can disappear and reappear in a different location. She uses her teleportation ability to defeat all her attackers. Each of her punches now carries such immense power that no one can stand against her. Qing easily dispatches all of them. The young man approaches Qing and asks her to come with him. Qing initially refuses to go with him. The young man then pulls out his badge and reveals that he is a police officer. Despite her reluctance, Qing has no choice but to accompany him. On the other side, we see Manager Li at the Medusa Corporation. He has learned that Qing has killed all his soldiers. Just then, another woman appears. Her name is Angela, and she wants to usurp Li's position as manager. She begins to mock Li, highlighting how Qing effortlessly defeated all his dispatched personnel. Meanwhile, we see John, the police officer. He decides to help Qing. He intends to help her regain her memories. To do this, he first needs to find out more about Qing and where she has been in the past few days. He uses his police department's resources to investigate. They discover that Qing was part of a tourist group, and surprisingly, 3 other girls who were with her have also vanished. Qing suddenly realizes this and checks her clothes. She finds the chip inside her garments. John is about to plug the chip into his system to analyze it. But then, a pole crashes through their house. Their gate is torn apart by a strong gust of wind, and another mutant girl enters their home. This girl used to be Qing's friend. She was with Qing in the tourist group. However, this girl is now under the company's control. A chip embedded in her neck allows them to manipulate her. This means the girl has no control over her own actions. She attacks Qing, and the two begin to fight. Watching them battle, John hides to the side, as he possesses no powers. Qing grabs the girl and throws her a great distance. The girl then employs a trick pretending to flee the building. Qing pursues her. Qing uses her teleportation powers, disappearing and instantly reappearing in front of the girl. Qing then grabs her and lifts her into the air. But the girl transforms her hand into stone. She forms a shield of rocks on her arm. This is her power. She can control any rock. This is why she lured Qing outside. She attacks Qing with a barrage of stones. She then throws Qing from the building and buries her under a pile of rocks. Qing's condition becomes critical. Just then, John arrives. To save Qing, John throws the chip to the girl. However, a countdown begins on Qing's arm. A percentage starts to increase. This percentage on Qing's arm indicates the extent to which her powers have increased. Qing's powers have now risen to 22%. Whenever she is injured, her powers grow even stronger. Qing's powers surge so intensely that a storm erupts in the area. The girl is thrown far away. The girl then punches Qing with her stone hand, but Qing counters with her own punch. Qing's powers have grown so much that the stones on the girl's hand shatter. Qing's power has amplified considerably. She begins to easily defeat the girl. Qing is about to kill the girl, but she stops. However, The Medusa Corporation, using the chip in the girl's neck, kills her since she failed her mission. Ching also collapses, falling unconscious to the ground. But John arrives just in time. On the other side, we see Lee inside the Medusa Corporation. He is mocking Angela because it was Angela who sent that girl with the chip in her neck to fight Ching, and she too failed in her mission. The two managers begin to argue. But then, the company's owner scolds them. We don't see the owner's face, but he tells his managers that he needs that chip as soon as possible, even if Angela has to retrieve it herself. Meanwhile, John takes Ching to an underground hospital. There, a doctor administers an injection to Ching, after which her condition begins to stabilize. Ching's memory slowly starts to return. She leads John to the lab. Upon entering, her memories become even clearer. She tells John that she remembers being captured by a white-haired girl, after which she was subjected to experiments. Ching now remembers the exact location where she was experimented on. She opens a secret door inside the lab, and it is the same place that was shown at the beginning of the movie. Ching now remembers that she is an agent. Her company's owner had given her a mission: to deliver that chip to the company's owner. John and Ching begin to search the place, but then a large screen activates in front of them. Angela appears and states that if they don't hand over the chip, she will kill innocent people. They are given 1 hour to return the chip. However, Ching shows no concern for the innocent lives. She begins to gather more evidence from the lab, because Ching remembers her mission. She needs to deliver all this information to her captain. John tries to explain that if she does this, many innocent people will die. But Ching is unmoved by his words. John becomes very angry at this. Ching has left him behind, but John still begins to devise a plan to stop Medusa. John knows he cannot directly confront the company's operatives because they are all mutants, and he possesses no powers. Nevertheless, he is prepared to face them. On the other side, Ching reaches her captain. She gives the chip to her captain, having completed her mission. Ching then tells her captain that John also helped them in this mission, and they need to send their soldiers to save John. However, Ching's captain tells her that it is not his concern. Meanwhile, John alone arrives to confront the company's operatives. Many soldiers are advancing towards him. John stands alone, knowing he won't win this fight, but determined to stand his ground. Just before the company's operatives attack John, Ching arrives. This time, Ching is fully prepared. She tells John that she will fight alongside him in this battle because John stands for what is right. Now, they are all ready for the fight. On the other side, Lee is watching them through cameras. Lee has gathered many prominent investors to showcase the power of his mutant soldiers. His goal is for powerful businessmen to purchase these super soldiers for their own benefit. This is the company's ultimate objective. They intend to create mutants and sell them to wealthy businessmen for enormous sums. Many soldiers attack Ching, but Ching teleports in front of them, instantly eliminating many of them. The soldiers appear almost frozen in place, while Ching moves incredibly fast. Ching disappears and reappears, taking down all the soldiers. However, in the midst of this, Angela captures John. She plunges a knife into John's chest, repeatedly stabbing him there. Witnessing this enrages Ching. She rushes towards Angela, but Angela is also coming towards Ching, as Angela is also a mutant. She is much faster and more powerful than Ching. She stabs Ching in the stomach and repeatedly attacks the same wound with her knife. Ching's condition rapidly deteriorates once again. Ching's DNA begins to change, and her powers surge again. As Ching's power increases, this time a wave of liquid erupts around her. Angela is thrown a great distance, but Angela has only just begun to enjoy the fight. She coolly licks the blood. However, she has no idea how powerful Ching has truly become. Ching runs and then disappears, suddenly reappearing behind Angela. She slices Angela's neck with a knife, and Angela dies. On the other side, the businessmen who were watching their fight become furious. One man tells Lee, What's the point of soldiers who can be easily killed? But Li, without even touching him, lifts the man and throws him far away. This reveals that Li is also a mutant. Meanwhile, Ching cradles John in her arms. John's condition is extremely critical. He takes his last breath in Ching's embrace. Witnessing this fills Ching with uncontrollable rage. She heads directly to the Medusa Corporation headquarters. Many soldiers attack Ching there, but Ching has become so powerful that she defeats them all in a single sweep. She then confronts Li directly. Li is also a mutant. He possesses powers that allow him to lift objects without touching them. He begins to attack Ching. He lifts Ching and throws her a great distance. He doesn't even need to physically grab Ching. He levitates her with his powers. He brutally attacks Ching, causing her condition to worsen once more. Now Ching's powers increase even further. She teleports so rapidly that Li cannot even see her. Li is completely bewildered. But then Ching grabs him and throws him away. Li takes control of many shards of glass and attacks Ching with them. However, Ching is far too fast. She plunges a knife into Li's head, and Li dies. The astonishing thing is that Ching has only tapped into 50% of her powers so far. Having completed her task, Ching returns to John's house. There, she deeply misses John. But then suddenly John appears before Ching. He is still alive, and we discover that John has also somehow become a mutant. Now John and Ching vow that they will not misuse their powers. They will use them to save humanity. However, they are unaware that the company's owner is still alive. This means the main villain has yet to make their appearance, and Ching has only used 50% of her powers so far. What will happen when Ching unleashes her full 100% power? This is where the movie ends.